In this playlist, we are going to break down the world's best players against each other, step by step and frame by frame. My name is John. I've been a top 100 player in the world and now I'm a professional coach. This is the real way to improve through my developed system to organize every moment into a calculated decision. These are the 3 keys to getting you from the D4 to elite to even the pro scene. Let's get started with today's match. Lootbar.gg. They have the lowest prices, fastest delivery, while being 10% cheaper than any other platform and trusted by big names like Pro Owns and Zorky. You also have insanely good reviews on Trustpilot. Get 10% off with my code JohnSims at checkout. Welcome back to the channel. This is Levi versus Tekkz part 2 of gameplay analysis. This is a coaching session essentially of how I would conduct a session if you guys were to book me on Metafy.gg, but this is between 2 pros, so it's jam-packed with information. This is part 2 of part 4. Let's get to it. All right, so here we go. Ball gets crossed into the spot. Just a simple play. I think Levi's being a little bit aggressive with that play. You do have to take risk right to the spot. That is fantastic. And open up space here as we see this. Now he's going to slow play down. He's going to try to get space in there. That's going to pull. He just didn't get it. So Tekkz is doing a good job here. Something I find very, very, very valuable from Tekkz is basically when he plays, he's trying to play very quick counter, but his ability to come back and his decision making to eliminate trying to continue to play. So many people will just try to take this edge all the way to the corner. If you look, he stays right in what I call a pocket. And so this is a zone, is a pocket that the defenders, it's really hard to get to. And if you pull a defender out into this pocket, it's really bad for the defense. And so if you can see, Levi doesn't want to come out there, but he does end up winning it with Mendez. Now, the whole point of what I'm trying to show you, though, on this play, is you see how he plays it wide. Instead of taking all the way in, he kind of stays right here. And so what he's trying to get to, which unfortunately for him, what happened is this created an incisive run when he wanted most likely a run right through here. So you can see how that run went this way to this way. That's where the timing was off here. And so then that defense, now he needed a ball roll this way, and he tried. So if you can see this, he's trying to use manipulation now. So I talk about this all the time in my coaching content, but basically there's a thing I call react, anticipate, and manipulate based off of what is the SAM method, speed, awareness, mentality. And this is what we're talking about right here. This is the mentality side. So in this scenario, what he's trying to do is he's trying to get the opponent to react while he's trying to get the opponent to anticipate his movement. Therefore, he's able to manipulate the play. People that react usually are always behind the play. People that anticipate are usually ahead of the play. And so as you go from react to anticipate, this is kind of actually what happens. It goes react, anticipate, manipulate. And what this means is there's a base, okay? So if we're talking pure speed, right? If we're talking purely on speed of play, who are better? Who's better, a Div 4 player or an elite player? An elite player, right? Now, who's faster, a Div 1 player or an elite player? A Div 1 player is playing faster. A elite player is playing smoother. And I want you to understand this, and this is where this manipulation becomes more smooth. And if you ever have played actual footy, you would understand this. If you ever watched Sergio Busquets, dude, he is so smooth. Just watch clips of Sergio Busquets just first touch, and it's amazing. But here's the thing. It's not necessarily about speed. This is slow, right? So if reactions are slow, anticipations are fast, the whole point here is that there has to be a middle point. And so as you go up the skill rank, you go from D4 from reacting to D1 to the quote, I'm going to put in quotes, pro area of manipulation. And you have to take risk and you have to take a chance at probabilities to create manipulations. That means that you have to learn skill canceling. You have to learn fakes. You have to learn timing adjustments. You have to send 2 players at the same time. You have to allow the opponent to think one thing and do another based off of a probability, because as you go up the ranks and you get better at defense, it becomes harder. So if you look at this, he's doing this back pass. He's expecting, look at this, he's expecting this simple pass. And so in live plays, if I'm a coach, if I'm a coach that doesn't understand what Tekkz is doing here, I would say, oh, he should have just passed it here. That's not the point of what Tekkz is trying to do. I actually believe that Tekkz was he actually made the right, I think Tekkz actually made the right play. But sometimes what happens is defenders will just step anyway, just because they're behind a play, because they have nothing else to do. And so what Levi does is he just steps here, and what that does is it ends this position. It also ends it takes away a possible chance right here. Okay, so it takes away a possible chance here, and I guess that's the most of it. But then he's allowed to switch here and then step. So it like creates a timing variable here. So he's going to try to switch really quick and get in that space and then recover. So he's trying to step here for a recovery position, which Tekkz is trying to read the position and the thought that Levi's going to try to defend this way and cut that lane off, and then he's going to fake this way, and now he's going to take the edge here, and he's going to get through, and then he's going to try to link up this way down the path. That's what he's trying to do, but instead, Levi's tackle step just pops right into that space, and he wins it. And so he just bodies up. And so that's where I think Tekkz was, and this happens to me all the time, is I try to be too cheeky when it could have just been simpler. If you really think about it, he did the right skill move. All he has to do is continue the skill move and play that technically through, and he would have been fine. He would have stepped, the skill move would have gone through, and he's on in. And so that's like a pivotal moment. And so these moments happen constantly all over the match. And when these moments, you have to win these moments, because I like to say, like, you need to really beat like a top ranked player, you need 3 of those moments in a row in order to get a goal. You really need 3. And usually what happens is if he breaks this line, then he has to break this one, and then he has to break the goalkeeper. Those are the 3 moments. I wish the goalkeeper moments were significantly less, but some people are so good at like goalkeeper movement and or not even movement, not even side to side, just pulling forward. It looks like he does he get the wiggles? He does get a cheeky movement. Now he's waiting. You see how long he's waiting. Levi plays a very poor break point. So break points, guys, I did talk about in the last video, but it's basically a change of possession. So right here, he's early into his build, and he just poaches this. A very good poach here by Tekkz. This is very risky, but these are those critical moments. What happens if he poaches here and he does, and Levi recognizes it? This is where, if it's Anders, or if it's Anders and attacking Emery as an attacking player versus Levi more of a defensive, I believe, you're going to get a short position versus a long, right? And so the more cheeky you are, the more like if he steps here, boom, you just pass it over the top. That's a goal. So he has to win these, and that's more about understanding your opponent. And he wins that pretty well, and he gets right into a lane. His defense is relatively unstructured. Now he gets into the space. He ball rolls, and so this is very important here as well. He maintains his attack position. So right now, he has to break that position. He has to get into that zone. And so he's trying to create that edge, just trying to see what happens there. And then now he's going, okay, I need to get in front. I need to break that. He's trying to do another one, and he's going to try to take that space. Now he has to adjust. The play didn't roll out, so now he slows down. This is where you will improve. If you are an elite player, a D1 player, a D4 player, I promise you, the number one mistake, if you have goal expectancies higher than your opponent, if your goal expectancy is really, really high and you're just not scoring goals, it's because you're not being patient in these moments. So watch this. So see how patient he is? Look at this. He's not shooting right away. Look, why? Because he's moving the goalkeeper. Now he should have shot. This is what I do all the time too. And I frustrate the crap out of myself sometimes because he could have shot, right? But now he moves back. Nope, he couldn't have, right? That's where I have literally had almost trauma from shooting here to where I don't shoot. So many people in my content, and I'm live, they say, John, why'd you shoot? Shoot. I'm like, you guys don't understand. These guys are moving the goalkeeper at a skill level that we have no idea, right? But the patience that Tekkz takes to get into this space, could we argue that he should have even made a shot and tried to go for a rebound? Potentially, right? But he's trying to wiggle, and he was just trying to create a fake there, and he was going to try to take an edge. He was going to play it back. He was going to try to rotate, and then he gets the first time through this way. So these are the two options. Those are the adjustments. He just gets stepped again, and it barely. But if you look how close that tackle step was, it was very, very close. Tekkz with aggressive defense, but it's okay. Now, Levi does a pretty good job in this zone here, and he should have had that. He really should have had this. So if you look, Tekkz jumps a little bit early, so this is good. This is okay. I want to talk to you guys about this as well, but this right here is very important to understand. This is actually very, very important to understand, but this is what I call a crosshair. Okay, so what happens is defenders will step to this position, and the better you are as a defender, the closer you are to like this point. Okay, this point right here is very valuable. This one right here, it is very valuable, and the reason why it's very valuable is the second he crosses past this line, if it's not really tight to that player can just charge right down the line. It's very important not to break that crosshair. And if you do break it, that you're extremely close in that position. And so being extremely close to this line here, you can see how he doesn't break that line, and he's still in a position variable with the intercept, I guess, with Militao to be able to win the position of the ball. Now the ball comes this way. Now he's on R1. I don't think he needs to R1 this. I think he should just let this go. I think he wanted to R1 from here, and he holds this down. That's the wrong way. That's the wrong thing to do. He's thinking it's going this way. That's improper. That's not tech. That's not, and that's what creates the separation to allow this pass. So now all Levi has to really get to do is get this pass. Now he's got two chances. So now Levi has two opportunities. He's marking the high, and he should have hit it. He should have hit it. He should have hit that. He had the opportunity here. He probably could put some spin on it. He was just trying to create the better angle, and it's just a hair late. He got really lucky. Tekkz got really, really lucky. He got very, very lucky. But that's poor defense. He presses instead of R1. So it's an R1 pull. Man. There he goes. The steps again. That's okay. I'm not totally against that step. Let's just watch the whole possession here. See how he jumps again. He's going for those risky jumps. That's okay. He's still in some structure here. Now he's got to rotate and adjust. That's poor defense. But okay, so there's the break. So let's see. That's the break. Let's go right back here. Okay, so I guess here we go. Boom. Right up to here. Here's the play. Okay, so see this? Here's the play off the line. This is similar to what I was talking about in the first episode or first video on this series. Basically, he pulls this player off the line, allows that rotation. Now, that also pulls a step, and this is a terrible step. You see how low, you see how bad this step was compared to his last one? It's significantly off the mark here. So if this is like the zone, or like if this is the zone that he needed to be in, like right here, this is the little zone he needed to be in, watch where he goes. That's so bad. Now I do this too. Like everybody has done this. Like we can't say that we haven't done this. But like if Tekkz wants to be number one, these are these efficiencies for a defender that he can do. Now, what he's guessing is that there's this run coming this way. And it makes sense. But you can see it off the mark. You might be able to see it, but if we step this just a hair down, this is what he's looking at. So you see the risk here. And so what he's doing is he's trying to eliminate that pass. Now, I don't think that pass was even that pass would have been hard. But he didn't need to go that deep with it. He's trying to eliminate this, and that's why he's going to that point. Okay, so it's not terrible. It's not just totally unstructured. And that's why I say it's not purely horrible. But what he needed to do is not be Pacho. He needed to be like Militao, and he needed to like step this way. First off, he needs to make sure that he stays offside, pulls offside. But you see how when Pacho comes up, Militao comes over. If Pacho just stayed flat and then Militao stepped this way, he's fine, right? Or if he just pulled this way, he would have been fine as well. So pulling that center back ultimately created that separation in space, and then now it puts the center back charging backwards. But he does a good job, doesn't break. Stay tuned for the next part 3 coming up next.